Hello, welcome everybody. This is the spoiler open 7-7 race. We've got quite a few people in here, I think about 10, and we're showing two of the runners here, Relkin and Schultze, both of which being great runners in their own right. This is a spoiler race, so they will know exactly where everything is, and it's all down to their execution. And of course, they can pretty much do anything, even appear in our chat. So, yes, so yeah, it should be a good one, and it should be interesting to see what effectively happens here. So yeah, we'll just see the routing. I personally haven't seen what's in the spoiler race, what's in the spoiler notes. That's how I'd like to look at these races myself. And we'll just see, what divergence that we may see here between our runners. And yes, I am joined here in tracking by Maid Watford. So yeah, thank you ever so much for tracking. It's always amazing. And well, they're off. So let's see where they go. One goes to Link's house, the other goes to Sanctuary. Uh, so Ultra gets the lamp in Sanctuary. That is a fire source, so it will allow certain areas. Whilst Relkin is deciding to go for Uncle. Again, these runners know where the items are, so okay. So basically, they will know where everything is, so they are just speed running as fast as they can to get those items. Relkin gets some magic, and ooh, those are the gloves uh, in in the well near Hyrule Castle. And now Relkin gets the lamps, and ooh, the mitts are in the Lost Woods drop down. Ah, so okay. And now Relkin is going to go to Lost Woods, and Schultze is going down towards Kakariko Village, effectively. And we'll see what Schultze needs to get in Kakariko Village. There's Blind's Hut, and there is the well drop down, effectively. So there must be something in the well. There is Welkin getting those mitts, and Schultze has gotten the hammer and the cape and 300 rupees. The rupees are good for King Zora, and the cape is good for Bumper Ledge as well as invulnerability, effectively. So those are definitely good finds. The question is, where are the swords, and where can we effectively find the swords in this area? So Schultze is opening these chests. So there's a full heart container and another one in Blind's Hut. And that will put Schultz up to 5 hearts. Definitely good to see. Good to pick up those heart containers. And Relkin is using that lamp to go up Death Mountain. Now, I don't know if we've seen map checks from the runners. They probably know where everything is due to checking the spoiler log. Schultz is going to go for Back of Escape now, so we'll see if there's anything here. And Relkin. Sorry, yeah, Relkin's going up the mountain. But we can see, thanks to our trackers, what the crystals are. And those are Desert Palace, Tower of Hera, Thieves Town, Ice Palace, Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, and Skullwoods. And yes, as people are saying, yes, it is spoiler log. So these runners have had 15 minutes in order to figure out where all the items are. And now they're going to be, well, finding a way to fake Flipper to get to the under the bridge check. Which means that, well, there should be something under the bridge then. We will just see. One interesting thing we haven't seen. Oh, Schultz must have gotten the flippers from somewhere. I did not see that specifically, so my bad. Under the Bridge has the hook shot. If anybody wants to tell me where the flippers were, that would be amazing. Thank you ever so much. Oh, they were back of Escape, that's why. So that's some interesting divergence in itself. That Schultzer went to get the flippers for that mobility, whilst Relkin just decided to water walk. With regards to having that hook shot, that means that Relkin can go to Paradox Cave, which does have a high density, which means there's probably something there. And Schultze is getting his mitts right now. Yeah, this whole race is to do with execution and routing, so you know, it's just to see how good they are at finding a route through all of this effectively. So yes, exactly, with regards to chat. And and we shall see if swamp is required effectively. So just 2 pieces of heart at the lower side of Paradox Cave. There might be 2 more pieces of heart later on in the seed. That might be why he's just going for them now. Of course, if there's something good in Paradox Cave, then that means that all these other checks just take 1 or 2 more seconds in order to get, and Relkin gets a lot of money here, some 300, some 20 rupees, as Schultze is making his way up the mountain. And there we go, there's the Moon Pearl in Paradox Cave. So that's why they went to Paradox Cave itself. Now, a difference that we can already see between Relkin and Schultze is that Schultze went to, I believe, Kakariko Village in order to get that hammer, whilst Relkin did not. Basically, what this means for Schultze is that Schultze will be able to make it up the whole way to Tower of Harrow by using that hook shot and then using the hammer, which is a crystal, a 561 at that, so a lot of density. Again, our runners know where everything is, but, you know. More checks means more possibilities the runners do know. Do need to actually go there. And there we go, see Relkin get the hammer and go up to 600 rupees himself, while Schultze is going up to get that Moon Pearl. So Relkin is going to the back of bar. That's for the first sword. I mean, 3 swords is always good for runners. 2 swords should be necessary in order to defeat Ganon if it's not a swordless mode. This isn't. This is just standard. So, you know, definitely good to get that. Definitely a better hitbox anyways for our runners as well. So yeah, now we see both our runners going into the Dark World. Relkin is in Village of Outcasts while Schultze is checking out Hype Cave. Now, is this hype? It must be, because something must be here. Ooh, a bee in a bottle. Does that lead to Sick Kid? And a sword right there. So was that the boots? That looked as though it might be the boots and brewery. We'll see shortly. And yes, Relkin takes those dashes. So boots gives mobility. That's definitely very nice to see. And yes, again, thank you, chat, for proving all of that. And as Relkin is just deciding to do Thieves Town, Schultze did decide to save and quit instead of defeating Tower of Hera. Relkin gets that bow from Thieves Town. We'll probably just finish this because, I mean, Blind is not affected by any larger damage outputs, and Relkin should have everything he needs to clear this. Albeit on a low amount of hearts, but these are professionals. We see them doing stuff like this all the time. However, the further check that you might want to notice is that Schultze took the time, I believe it was in Blind's hut, actually, to get 2 extra hearts. That might make all the difference between our runners, as Schultze gets the boots and saves and quits. And yeah, Just thank you, chat, for helping one another out. I did not see that. Well, I didn't see back of escape as much as I should have. Now Schultze does have, well, the blacksmith is going to go into King's Tomb as Relkin is clearing out Thieves' Town. And that is Bombos. So, according to our the tracking, both of them need Quake, but I'm sure that might be set in at some stage. I'm trying to think what Bombos might be used for as Relkin gets that fourth heart. What I would assume by something like this is that we might not get Fire Rod quick in. Maybe there's a Fire Rod in Ice Palace that our runners need to get. And that's why they have to get Bombos now. And there we go. Schultze gets the Sword of Evil's Bane, the Master Sword, at the bar. I mean, well, back of bar. And, of course, goes to the blacksmith. Is this vanilla in the sense that it's the third upgrade? We will see shortly. As Relkin is starting to save the maiden, quote-unquote. We all know that it's a secret boss in disguise. Schultze is getting Quake, so yes, they are Quake Smiths, effectively. But yeah, Relkin is going to face off against this blind fight as Schultze is going into Eastern Palace. And Relkin making a poultry joke. Relkin gets 3 hits in, and then another 3 hits in on Blind. Is keeping Blind quite close. 9 hits, that's done perfectly as Schultze gets the Cane of Samaria and the Tempered Sword out of Sahasrar's closet. And there, in 10 minutes and 56 seconds, that's Relkin's first crystal. As Schultze is deciding not to go into Eastern Palace, noticing actually... Ooh, where is Schultze going? Is this a pod play? But yeah, Schultze does not have that bow from Thieves' Town yet, so we'll see exactly what happens. And we'll just need to see where Relkin goes next. Probably into Hype Cave for that. I believe there's a sword in Hype Cave, as we've seen on Schultze's side. And probably going to retrace those steps into Village of Outcasts as Schultze goes into Pod. Schultze does have a bottle, which I think you need a potion for it. I'm not so knowledgeable about the glitch, but there is a potion glitch where you can get the mimics out of the east side of Pod. Although that would assume that there's something in there. The bow is still needed for the Igor statue at the back. So Schultze is... Seems as though Schultze is going to go to east side, and just noticing here Pod is a pendant, so we've got to assume something is in here, or is it a pet seed? And thank you, chat, for letting us know. Yeah, So sadly, Schultze can't get to the right side as chat is saying. So again, thank you, chat, on that one. Schultze is going to the east drop down in the starting lobby with regards to Palace of Darkness. Gets a key from it. And is now just trying to see what's happening. And ooh, Relkin is going for Aghanim? How is this an Agaseed? I don't understand it. I'm trying to work through the logic. Of course, everybody's seen this in spoilers, so the logic must be sound here. But how is Aghanim in logic here? There must be something on Lumberjack. That's the only thing I can see. Schultze did get something on his side. What was it? That was the Ice Rod. Yeah. So, Because Relkin is going to go for Aghanim, again, I haven't checked the specifics of this mode, but I believe it will be the same as the normal mode. If you want to put how many blue balls Aghanim is going to give to our runners this time, given it is first on Relkin's side, then put in your results. I believe they're 1 to 15. So, yeah. And, yeah, you... you get me saying if you've won, as both our runners climb the tower. A difference between them being that Schultze has the ice rod, whilst Relkin has the bow. And the Thieves' Town crystal. So we'll see. Yeah, flute on lumberjack is what chat is possibly saying. So Aghanim transporting Princess Zelda off until the Dark World. We'll probably see her very, very shortly, considering this is a spoiler seed. I don't think I know if anything's a guess or a spoiler. I'm gonna take it as a guess. But yeah, so Relkin's getting 2 hits off on Aghanim. Oh. And thank you, chat, for saying that it's not in the log. Whoops. Well, I guess if you guessed 0, it would have been correct. Relkin gets his 5th hit in, and this should be a 6th hit, and Aga 1 is down. So whoever guessed quote-unquote 0, congratulations. And others are guessing shovel for vanilla flute. We'll see. Relkin is now going to Sanctuary. So... I say that. Relkin is probably... Let me think about this again. Okay, yes, I know Schultze went into King's Tomb. I'll just have to see what this is again. Oh yes, that's Bombos. Relkin also hasn't been to Back of Escape to get those flippers. Will he? That's the question, I guess. Nope, Relkin seems to skip flippers again, as Schultze is facing off against Aga. And we're having some fun guesses in chat of mushroom to shovel to powder to fire rod. So, yeah, that is possible. As Relkin drops down to lumberjack get ledge, is this the flute or is this the powder? Ooh, this is the flute. So that is Misery My Access from Aghanim. Congratulations to chat, I guess. And we'll just see. So, Relkin is off to activate that flute as Schultze has defeated Aghanim 1 and is going to be collecting that flute. Get your salutes for the bird. For Relkin's side. So, where do we go from here? I mean, I know there was a sword and the Cane of Samaria in the back of Sahasrarla's hut. So, that could give a bit, although our runners are still needing Fire Rod for Misery Maya, so I guess the question is, when is that? Relkin has already completed Thieves' Town, so is this a purple chest? Possibly? Purple chest, hammer, have hammer picks? No, Relkin is going dig game? Oh, this is for the Quake, for the blacksmith chain. Relkin actually didn't do Blacksmith Chain, and Schultz is activating that flute. And, yeah. Chat saying it's hard to predict who's in front, it seems. I always find it hard to predict who's in front in any race. I mean, the thing is that you've got to know how far out of the way checks are, how much time doing one check over the other is effectively gonna save. That's the routing as Relkin gets the third sword and the Cane of Samaria. Schultz is going into the ice with that bombos. But yeah, I would just say it's hard to know in a lot of modes, especially early on like this. So we'll just have to see. It's always the same with everything, but hopefully we'll find a bit more convergence in this mode. And yep, bows are progressive in this mode as Relkin is collecting Quake. So the question is, where does Relkin go now? Relkin goes off to Palace of Darkness, and just trying to think what was there from everything here. Ah, yes. Palace of Darkness is needed for that Ice Rod, effectively. And Schultz is probably going to give us Icebreaker. Yeah, there's Icebreaker right here. And what's in the big key chest? The big key is in the big key chest. I see. I mean, the strategy here, I personally couldn't say so much about strategy on this, but I can tell you that runners of this level have studied the techniques in order to defeat these bosses in a low percent run. Therefore, I think they're more than comfortable. Once you get something like Tempered Sword, it does make a lot of bosses a lot easier. Schultz has gone on the way to get more heart containers, whilst Relkin has not. Again, we'll see if that helps, but it seems like Schultz is just going to go there just to complete Ice Palace, and there's nothing else in this dungeon. So Relkin is... Ooh, that's a bit sad. Relkin is going back to the start of Palace of Darkness. And we'll need to do so in order to pick back up that Ice Rod. And Schultz is doing very good with Cold Stare. Getting Cold Stare in the corner. And oh, Cold Stare was holding the Fire Rod the entire time. That's why we needed bombos from the blacksmiths. It all makes sense now, as Schultz gets his first crystal. Yeah. Between Aghanim and Fire Rod on Cold Stare, this seed... this seed hasn't been the nicest to our runners. Relkin is going to go to Ice Palace to do all of this himself. And Schultz is climbing back up the mountain. There is Super Bunny Cave. There is Hookshot Cave. So, total of what? Well, there's a ton of items here. So, it's possible something might need to be picked up here. And also, since we know from our tracker, this is Turtle Rock access as well. If something is in Turtle Rock, this will be good for Schultz. Again, our runners know what's where. I'm also just trying to think what's necessary for the rest of this seed. Do we need anything? No, I think they're technically in go mode. No, they need one thing. So Schultz needs the needs the book or the mirror, and Relka needs the book and or the mirror. Pod and EP are both pendants, so they don't technically need the bow. Yes, and again, thank you, chat, for that one. But our runners will know where mirror or book is. We might see a difference between our runners here, where one picks up the mirror or one picks up the book. So it's all up to them, really. And yeah, mirrorless Smith can be a tough one, effectively. So Schultze is going to be doing the right side. Probably has to do the right side for a key, as Relkin is making it further down and collects that full heart from the blue mail chest in Ice Palace, and is going to be making his way down to Cold Stair. Yeah. Schultze has also just noticed from the tracker, I did not see it, but has also got a fourth sword, the Butter Sword, so definitely good. Again, our runners know where everything is, so it means that they can always make these pickups. But considering that these pickups are so accessible to our runners, just makes the game a slight bit easier for them. And that was a really good... That was a really good Cold Stair fight. Just got them all in the corner and defeated them with the Tempered Sword. Absolutely amazing to watch. And Relkin is on his second crystal at 25 minutes and 40 seconds. So, Schultz is making his way through Turtle Rock. And it seems like Relkin is going to join Schultz on this one. Could the mirror or the book be here? I'm starting to think. Because there's so many other dungeons that could be done. I mean, there's Skullwoods. Yeah, I guess only Skullwoods and Thieves Town. Well, Skullwoods, Thieves Town, Misery Mire. Yeah, there's got to be something else here. Or maybe a Mimic Cave. I say that, and Mimic Cave is completely skipped here. So, Schultz is going further into Turtle Rock, while Srelkin is going to be opening up Turtle Rock. Again, this isn't a like for like, because Relkin has cleared out Thieves Town, while Schultz has not, which means that, you know, you can't really tell who's ahead. Schultz is making his way through the, well, effectively a dark maze inside Turtle Rock, about to make his way towards Laser Bridge. Now that's the question there. 4 chests in Laser Bridge. One of them will have the key, so Schultz will need to go down there for that key. But is there anything else here? There is the mirror in Turtle Rock. This is why our runners have been storming all the way here. I knew it. I was thinking there was something with their routing. It just all made sense. It all came together. So there we go. Our runners have been in no mode from the start. But, well... Actually, they're still in no mode, because, in all fairness, you can glitch your way out, so it isn't a big deal, but you do need the bow for the Mimic Room at the start of the Gauntlet of Ganon's Tower, but you can just use a bottle glitch for that. So, Schultz, well, defeats both heads on Trinex fairly well. Is only on half a heart now, has got to be careful. Gets a few slashes in, and Trinex is down. And yes, as chat is asking, this is a spoiler race. Our runners know where everything is. So, okay, well, there you go. I promise you, I do not know what's in this spoiler. That's my choice with these races. The book and the mirror were in Turtle Rock. So everything was here. It was so important that our runners actually go here. So Schultz flutes away and flutes to the witch's hut and picks up a few potions. That might be for a bottle glitch. We'll see. Although Schultz still needs to go into Thieves Town, so it'll be easy for him to pick up that bow, and that seems to be what Schultz is doing now, as Relkin is finishing out the rest of Turtle Rock. So, yep. Relkin is going to finish off the rest of this. Schultz is going to be going into Thieves Town. Make sure to... Yeah, it's blue... Yeah. So Schultz is going into Thieves Town. I thank you ever so much to Maid Walkherd for tracking, of course. But well, sorry, yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and I think I misread that one. I don't think it's blue for the glitch now, as Schultz picks up that bow for Ganon's tower, and Relkin gets that mirror. Make sure, if you like what you see with our runners, and their running is absolutely brilliant right now, you can see how good they are with their boss fights, to give them a follow. And this command should have both our runners here. You know, make sure to give them a follow. I've, you know, they've definitely been around in the community, definitely both really good runners and really good people. So, you know, it'll be, well, it would just be brilliant to be a part of their communities. So, Relkin is destroying Trinex. Destroys both of those, the Fire and Ice Head, easily. And is now on to the third stage. As Schultz is getting the boss fight against Blind set up by bombing the ceiling. So, that is Relkin's third crystal, having done Thieves Town, Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock. Where next? That is the question. There's still Skull Woods, there's still Misery Mire. You could even go to Tower of Hera now. Although you can do Tower of Hera just before Ganon's Tower. So Relkin is fluting away. Where is it? This looks like it might be for Skull Woods. But yeah, so Schultz is about to defeat Blind as Relkin is going into Skull Woods. Again, both our runners know exactly where every key is, every big key is. The big key isn't needed in Skull Woods, so actually I think Relkin can just go straight to the back. We'll pick up this key from this pot on the top left in a second. Schultz are having a little bit of trouble with Blind, but is using that cape in order to dodge damage effectively. And that is Schultz's third crystal, defeating Blind at 33 minutes and 23 seconds. Yeah, both of them have the bow now. The bow is in Thieves Town. my posturing did forget that for a second, that the bow is really easy to get. But yeah, effectively looking at it now, I mean, both our runners are effectively in go mode. I mean, they knew where everything was to start out, but, you know. So Relkin is just going to do the drop down, has the third sword, is going to face off against Marthula. So, is only on 3 hearts, and defeats Marthula perfectly. And that is Relkin's 4th crystal. So, if you sort of see it like for like, and the items they all have, since they've all sort of synced up, I'd say Relkin might be a little bit ahead now, but it could all change throughout this match. It's routing, and it's, you know, making sure, you know, you can face bosses smoothly and easily. So, sort of a time save between button and tempered. The thing is that with regards to tempered, you can just do swings instead of, sorry, you can just do sword spins instead of slashing, but normally it's very quick for both butter and tempered sword, so you don't save too much time. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I wouldn't know specifically, but if anybody in chat does, let me know. Relkin is going into Maya. So we'll see, and Schultz has got his 4th crystal at 35 minutes, 35 seconds. So is this a Godmire? A Godmire being that the chest on the bridge near the back is actually the one that has the big key. Welcome picks up a key from the right side, and it's going back. It does not look as though it's a Godmire right now, as Schultz is about to enter Misery Mire. So Relkin is going for the cutscene, as Schultz opens up Misery Mire. So this Mire possibly not as nice. But still, knowing where it is, it shouldn't take too long. The main thing is waiting in this cutscene for Relkin. So Relkin does the drop down. This is where the big key normally is, and it is here again. So Relkin is now going to be making his way, probably. Well, it has to be to the back of Misery Mire, because no other items are needed. Both of our runners are, well, in go mode. So yeah, it's just getting those big keys. Hmm. Yeah, so it's just looking here. Just trying to think. I mean, yeah, at the start, Schultz had got the flippers, whilst Relkin just decided to go and get the Moon Pearl from... Sorry, the Moon Pearl was in... Why do I keep thinking it was in Paradox Cave? I know something was in Paradox Cave. Let me see. The flippers should have been back of Escape. So that's where the flippers were. Relkin defeating Vitreous easily, and that is his 5th crystal. So yeah. I mean, in general, there's no divergence here because our runners have got all the items that they need. So effectively, Schultz needs to, make sure his actions are absolutely brilliant. Just make up every small time save by every small time save against Relkin in this. This match isn't just between our two runners. Schultz getting off the spooky action glitch in the Dark Room of Misery Mire, and Desert Palace being locked by the boots, so the boots were required this seed. Yeah, they are fighting off against other runners, and effectively they'll be scored as such and then progress further through the tournament. This is one of the, I believe, 18 qualifiers of this spoiler SpeedGaming Live tournament. So that is Schultz's, fifth crystal. As well, Relkin is making his way to the back and is about to face off against Lammo. So Schultz is now going for Desert Palace, whilst Relkin is going to face off against Lammo. We'll see what Relkin does. It seems to be sword spins, and then fire rod shots. And that's 1 Lammo down, 2 Lammo downs, and 3 Lammo downs. So Lammo is gone, and Relkin gets a piece of heart and a crystal. So, always good to see. But yeah, I'm just trying to think what one runner did that the other didn't. Schultz did go into, Blind Tap in order to get 2 hearts that Relkin did not, and Schultz did go back of escape to get the flippers. Otherwise, their routing has been nearly identical, although they've done different things at different times. I mean, with regards to GT Big Key, I don't think we need to play it, just because the runners will know where the GT Big Key is. Relkin is on 6 crystals, so we'll be going on to 7th. But yes, chat is giving a good point. What I will say is, after the 7th crystal is done, we will do this by location. Because that makes sense. So thank you, chat. And Schultz defeats Lammo and gets that 6th crystal. So yeah, Relkin is going to end up right in front of Ganon's tower, is then going to mirror. And, you know what? Since the answers are a bit longer, I'll give you the whole of Hera in order to determine where you think it is. For me personally, my guess, since there's already been a guess there, I'm going to say that it's upper left rando room. And chat also saying there's a minute 24 lead that Relkin has on Schultz. Again, thank you, chat. And Relkin is now facing off, got the Hera part off, and has defeated Moldorm, the final crystal that stands between Relkin and entering Ganon's tower. And yeah, make sure you get your guesses in before Relkin enters GT. So Relkin takes the portal back and is now going to open up Ganon's tower. As Schultz is going to enter the Tower of Hera. Where does Relkin go? Could it be Stalfos room, Rando room, Bob's chest? You know, it's vanilla location. Relkin goes into Hope room, collects 10 arrows and a small key from there. So, 2 small keys needed for the climb. It's going into Tower room, just goes straight past it. Again, our runners know where the big key is. So Relkin is definitely going to the right. And yeah, 4 items coming up soon. As Schultz has gotten his 7th crystal at 44 minutes, 44 seconds, and is going to enter GT himself. Yeah, so to anybody coming in, Relkin gets the shovel, and the GT big key was bottom right. I can never remember what room they call this, but sadly nobody has said anything there. So I'm going to use my discretion here. It was a bottom right chest, so congratulations, Morguy84, who said Grando room bottom right. I mean, it was a bottom right, so have your free randos. It says compass room. Thank you ever so much. Nobody said compass room though, so that's why I'm gonna go for. I'm going to go for. Well, at least part of the description was okay, as Relkin makes his climb. I mean, it is a pretty random room. Yeah. And Relkin is going into one of the lesser known rooms where you can, you know, just get more health and magic. A room randomizer players would know quite well, but a room that can actually be missed out. Schultz is making the climb as well, whilst Relkin is facing off against the Stalfos. With these conveyor belts and these BMOSs about, Relkin will have to be a bit careful. Is on 2 hearts now. Schultz is on 4. This is tense. Relkin is on 1 heart. Has Bombos, is using it. Has nothing in his bottles. If Relkin does not complete the gauntlet, if the gauntlet completes him effectively, then this will put Schultz in the lead. So this is very big. Relkin is using the cape in order to evade those BMOS, defeat those enemies in that ice room, and is now going to face off against Lamo 2. And the shovel should have been in compass room top right, to clarify to chat. Relkin has defeated Lamo 2, but is still only on 1 heart. Has got to do this absolutely brilliantly, picks up a heart from a pot. Again, our runners would know exactly where every heart in this game is. Just for this, Relkin boomerangs the fairy to get back on full health. So at the moment, Relkin is safe, while Schultz is about to be facing off against Lamo 2. So Relkin is now in the first of 2 torch rooms in the climb, and gets it off perfectly, and now has to evade those beams and goes to 2nd torch room and gets to go past. And yeah, in the meantime, Schultz is facing off against a few Wizrobes. and is a few floors behind, as Relkin is about to face off against Moldorm 2. Gets that magic upgrade, sorry, that magic refill from the pot, and Moldorm 2 is down. Relkin is on to the last chest of the game that he hookshots across and chooses not to open. Probably because he already knew that there wouldn't be much in there due to the fact that this is a spoiler race. So Relkin is climbing the stairs and about to face off against Agatu. So Relkin is facing off against Agatu, while Schultz is facing off against Moldorm 2. Moldorm 2 being a bit of trouble. Relkin only getting 2 hits off. If this Agatu 2 fight is a bit tough, meaning it takes a bit longer, then Schultz might have a chance at this. Relkin gets something like a 1-0, 1-1-1-2. So Schultz might be able to do a bit better, save some time. But Relkin is going to face off against Ganon. So Schultz gets a 2 from Agatu, gets 1 as Relkin makes the drop down, 50 minutes and 28 seconds. So 2-1-3 on Schultz. And Relkin faces off against Ganon. Both of them having silvers, so the final phase should be easy. It seems as though Relkin is on to the second phase now, just using, well, boots and the sword in order to hit Ganon, and the cape in order to avoid. And now Relkin is on to phase 3. Schultz goes in 51:01, about 30 seconds between them. It seems as though Schultz has been gaining. And Relkin is on to phase 3. The floor is, well, the floor is going away, and Relkin does have the silvers, gets 1 off, and is then trying to hit the torches. Does not have much magic, so this might be tough, although I believe that Relkin has a blue bottle in there somewhere. Schultz is on phase 3 at the moment. But Relkin defeats Ganon with a slither of magic left and 3 hearts. Get your GGs ready in chat for Relkin, who is the winner of this restream. And we will see how he does in the qualifier. So, Schultz is now facing off against Ganon and defeats Ganon. Get your GGs ready for Schultz as well. So we'll see if either of our runners want to go in for, interview. In the meantime, I can tell you that Relkin finished first in the race with 107.00. Schultz finished second in the race with 107.22. And GG Schultz.
GG.
Yeah, just a pleasure and an honor as always. We got to see your routing. There were a few differences at the start, but it all effectively wrapped up. And we got to see some great execution from both of you. So thank you.
Yeah, I think I spent the first 10 minutes figuring out how to allow the light world and getting to boots and stuff. I had I still don't know what's the best call. Like, you had the tier 3 pull for bombs, but you could do a Taizukaze. But then I knew I probably messed it up, and if I messed it up, my load sucks even more now. And then I just decided to go to Kakariko early, get bombs, get the hammer, and then go grab the smith from the south. And I think that pretty much worked out pretty good because yeah, I could do Seastone and Skywood later anyway and combine them really nicely.
We are also joined here by Relkin. GG's Relkin. And
GG's.
again, thank you again. It's just been lovely to see your execution and just to see how well you've both routed this. Yeah, again, just thank you. So, just putting it all into perspective, the only differences between what both of you have, I mean, Relkin, I think you picked up a blue a blue potion. Schultze, you picked up the flippers, whilst Relkin you did a fake flipper with the moon pearl. And yeah, Relkin, you picked up a few heart pieces, whilst Schultze, you got 2 hearts in blind heart. I mean, when it comes to checks, both of you did about the same checks, albeit in slightly different orders, but still. Yeah, I don't know. It was just interesting to me.
Yeah, I grabbed a bottle, but it didn't have a potion in it.
Yeah, I filled mine up, and I was good to do so because I almost died in the gauntlet. I was like down to 2 hearts and would have died from one exit, and was like, let's just use it now, and then you have magic fallen molars. I just went to safety out because it's a qualifier. You don't have to win the race to place good, and with my route I felt pretty confident and just went for those 1 or 2 extra safeties. I'm not sure if you should go get the gold sword. I think it evens out against Cynex and Witty if you don't mess that fight up like I did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did have the gold sword, Schultz, whilst Relkin, you did have tempered sword. Yeah, well, talking about that, the GT climb. I personally was just like staring intently on the screen, seeing you, Relkin, on 1 heart for about 5 minutes of that. That was some brilliant play. I mean, you know, it was so tough. 1 hit and you would have been out of that, but just so brilliant watching you take that climb. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, that was definitely not a very ideal scenario, but we the goal was to survive. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sick Bombos on Gauntlet 3 and then just make sure I'm aware of BMOS. I basically focused on the BMOS and G4 and then G5. Since I can just slide across the ice with sword slashes, I just use the cape.
How many hearts did you up? And with how many hearts did you ended up with? 6?
5.
Oh yeah. I just grabbed 1 safety in. I think I had 2 heart containers out of the blind side out, and then I just grabbed the one from my split pictures to have 5 hearts for Coaster to not die to 1 hit.
Yeah, I think I grabbed the 3 heart pieces out of Paradox, and then some other heart piece ended up somewhere else that I found on the way, and then I grabbed the ice big chest heart pieces, heart container like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also something I know. I mean, related to practice of this race, effectively, like how do you practice for something like this? I know it was sort of talked about early on, but it really made me intrigued. I mean, this is a lot of low percent stuff. How do you get ready for deciding what items? I mean, of course, some items you need for the game, but what items are important, what items aren't? Making sure you can, finish off these bosses and climb quickly, but also low percent. Just how do you do that?
comes with lots of practice and just getting used to doing things with less safety. And of course, and obviously we all go fast anyway, and like Rando will teach you how to go fast itself, but the finer points you have to really dig deep of going fast, and then of course just practicing always being on low percent with spoiler. That's just how you get used to making sure you're always managing your health properly in Magic. So
Yeah, it's just a lot of practice and like getting used to low percent. That's mostly it. Like, if you know you survive, you can you go for risky sets, and most if you go for risky sets that are quote unquote the more safer sets because you're more used to do it. And if you try to play safe, you usually end up dying in the end because you're not used to it, which is pretty counterintuitive, I guess.
Yeah. Also thinking, I mean, first of all, this being a spoiler race as well, what were your thoughts on this seed, and what were your thoughts when you were reading this seed? You know, did you think it would, yeah. How did you formulate a plan in order to find out how to route this seed? How did you sort of progress all of that, is what I'm wondering.
I mean, the early goal was pretty clear, like that mids, knees, and hammer for Dark World Access, and then you had also the goal to go get and go to Hobo at some point, with flippers being. Where was them again? I think.
flippers were back of escape, but I skipped them.
Oh yeah, back of escape. And it pretty much like. Then there was a question how you get perfect boots, and then it was just get like everything you need for TR. And clear Aga on the way, and clear TR, and then just do dungeons upper dungeons. At least for me.
Yep, it was. Yeah, I killed Aga after I got Master Sword. I guess thinking back, I probably could have grabbed Tempered for it, but I don't know. It probably evened out with fluting to Saha versus just running. Although I feel like I probably if I had to choose again, I would probably choose getting Tempered first before doing Aga. And then yeah, so just getting Bombos into flute and then activating it, and then just doing TR for the mirror. Well, I guess you have to do first to get fire up, but then you gotta do TR after that.
Oh yeah, I guess port after Aga Tower, even if you grab Tempered first, is faster because I just went Saha into port without thinking. But I guess it's faster if you flute back there. I don't think it's much, but it's like 10 to 10 seconds, and like those decisions could have ended up mattering with like a 20-second difference.
Are you talking about going straight from Aga to pod?
No, I don't think you do that.
Okay.
You just activate flute in it, but it's probably that probably evens out it the same way, I guess.
Right. I think fluting was maybe slightly faster pod.
Yeah, I definitely think getting Tempered Sword for Aga Tower is the better choice because it's just so much better than Master Sword.
Yeah. I felt like my Aga Tower was fine though with my Master Sword. I'm used to NMG, so I know what to do in certain rooms.
But yeah, overall, like, that was a really interesting siege out, especially early on. Then in the end, comes down to execution, like exactly what you want from a spoiler race.
Yep.
Again, just absolutely brilliant to watch and absolutely brilliant to commentate. There's nothing more I can sort of think of with regards to questions, so if there's anything more you want to say about this race, I mean, yeah, please do, both of you.
Not looking forward to facing the King in the Blackhead's face if I make it.
Yeah. I just hope I stay on top of my game, I guess. If just depending on who, I don't know. It's just it'll be brackets will be definitely something interesting to watch for. Because like, I feel like people will just if you make a mistake, odds are it's always the feeling of oh man, I'm behind now if I make a big mistake or something like that. So it's just like I got to be on top of my game to ensure that I can have a better chance of winning. And so it's just a matter of focusing to the best of my ability. But yes, I don't think it'll be a cakewalk.
It shouldn't be.
Well, yes, that's correct.
But yeah, GG's anyway. I'm hopping off now. Was a fun race. See you all later.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's. And thank you, Schultze. And yeah, Well, thank you, Relkin, as well. Both our runners, make sure to give them a follow, Relkin and Schultz. And yeah, not much more to say here. This is all, well, this is SpeedGaming Live 2022. A series of games that, going along on the SpeedGaming channel, and there are quite a few of them, so, there's a lot that you can watch, and that's absolutely brilliant. This is the link to Pass Randomizer spoiler part of that, this tournament, Qualifier 4, and yeah. So yeah, if you like what you see, follow SpeedGaming 1 to 6, where there'll be plenty more here. And I just want to thank the tracker Made Walk Heard. Just thank you so much. Always brilliant. It's always said we couldn't do commentary without our trackers. Like, you really save us in that department. So just thank you. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, thank you to Speed Gaming for showing all of this. It's always fun to watch this, and it's always fun to commentate this. So, so enjoy the next races and enjoy the bracket stages of all of this. It should be very fun. And, well, take care, everybody. Bye.